Hello, everyone. This is Rupok welcoming you to our presentation, A Better Approach in Communication, targeting SDG-4, which is quality education. Quality education actually refers to the social, economical, mental, and psychological development of each student, regardless of gender, race, ethnicity, socioeconomic status, or geographic location. Any of these features of quality education cannot be ensured until or unless the communication skill is developed. So we are going to investigate the linguistic items, which are essential for the speakers and listeners to find the relevant meaning of a conversation using the academic knowledge of semantics and pragmatics. Now let's start our discussion with semantics and pragmatics. Semantics is a branch of linguistics that studies the exact meaning of a word. For example,
tigers are carnivorous mammals.
The word tiger here implies the general idea of an animal which lives on eating flesh. On the other hand, pragmatics concerns meaning in context. It is the study of how the speaker conveys the meaning and the listener interprets it.
Tigers claim first T20 victory over New Zealand.
The same word, tiger, in the second example presents a different context. Tigers here is referred to the Bangladeshi cricketers who claimed their first victory over New Zealand. So the word tiger has different meanings based on semantics and pragmatics.
To understand semantic and pragmatic for better communication, let's discuss some of the most important features of semantic and pragmatics. Let's start with some multiple meaning of words. Polysemy. Polysemy is a term which refers to the coexistence of many possible meanings for a word or a phrase. For example,
let's have a drink in a bar.
I have to study in the bar.
Bring me a chocolate bar.
So here in 3 sentences, the speaker used the same word bar, but in a different way. Some other examples with the word awesome.
You look awesome.
The cook is awesome.
The weather is awesome.
Now let's discuss about homonyms. Homonyms basically refers to the concept that each of 2 or more words have the same spelling and pronunciation, but different meanings and origins.
Can you give me 50 cents?
I sent you all the message yesterday.
Can you feel the scent in the room?
Here, sent has the same pronunciation but different meanings and origins.
Moving on, the dimension of meaning plays an important role in any conversation. One word can have multidimensional meaning. Let's have an example with the word barking.
Yes, I have understood your point. Now stop barking.
What? What did you say? Do I look like a dog to you?
Hey, no, you are misunderstanding. Oh my God.
No. You just said stop barking. And who barks? Dogs, right? So am I a dog to you?
Now, if we analyze this example semantically, then the word bark refers to the sharp and clear sound which is usually made by a dog. But here, if we analyze this context pragmatically, then the word bark is referring to shout.
In a communication, to understand the speaker properly, we should have the knowledge of implicit and explicit meaning of any sentence. Conversational implicature is the act of implying a meaning beyond the literal sense of what is explicitly stated. For example,
Do you like to visit the Equation Book Fair today at 5 o'clock?
Dust. I don't want my allergic infection back.
here
Rani asserts that she has an allergic infection
to task and implies that he will not be able to go to the book fair. There are 2 kinds of conversational implicature. More example on this.
How is the weather today?
You should bring your umbrella.
Will Sally come to the meeting today?
His car has been broken down.
In contrast, explicature concerns the meaning that is explicitly said in an utterance. Let's have an example on it.
Let's look at this story. The grasshopper laughed at the ant and said, "Stop your silly work and have fun with me." "No," said the ant, "I am gathering food for winter. You must do that too." "Ha ha ha, right now I have plenty to eat. Why should I worry now?" laughed the grasshopper.
So, based on this explicit text, I know that the grasshopper laughed at the ant. And how do I know that?
Well, it's written in the story that the grasshopper laughed at the ant. So, that makes it an explicit information of the text, and we can easily point it out through the utterance of the grasshopper, which is explicitly said in the text.
Reference becomes important when we speak about concept and object. In referent expression, an expression used in a utterance to refer to someone or something. Suppose my friend Osha, when I utters, Osha give me a book last night. I have particular person in my mind when I say Osha is referring expression.
Who's there?
It's me. Are you already there?
Yes, we here.
So, did you do it?
No, but we're going to do it soon.
You're still with her?
Yes, I am.
Okay then, see you later.
Bye.
I know it was hard for you to understand what they're talking about. The reason is a linguistic principle called deixis and distance. Let's have a close look at it. Deixis means somehow pointing by language. The linguistic forms used for pointing are called deictic expression or indexicals. The words like I, we, these, that, these, those, now, then, here, there are some of the examples of deictic expression. There are three categories of deixis. Spatial deixis or person deixis concerns itself with the spatial location relevant to an utterance. Person deixis is the linguistic reference to discourse participant roles, that is, expressions referring to the speaker, listener, and to the other persons whom may be or may not be present in the discourse situation. Temporal deixis or time deixis concerns itself with the various times involved in and referred to in an utterance. Now let's look at some examples. If you would ask a visiting exchange student, have you been in this country long? Here, you and this country are the examples of deictic expressions. You referring to a person, therefore a person deixis, and this country is referring to the place where the utterance has been taken place, therefore spatial deixis. Let's look at another example. Dinner at 8 p.m. on Sunday. Okay, I will see you then. There then is a temporal deixis because it is referring to the time of the discourse. Deixis can be divided into two, proximal deixis and distal deixis. Distal deixis can be further divided into physical and psychological distance. We will drive more into the psychological distance. When anything is near to the speaker, but he or she is psychologically distancing the object from him or her using a particular expression, then that expression is called psychological distancing.
অপসরা কিরে কয়টা বাজে? ও কয়টা বাজে মা? এখন 12টা বাজতে চললো। মা এখন উঠে যাবো, আর মাত্র 5 মিনিট। কি ব্যাপার, এখন সময় হলো বাসার মহারানী ঘুম থেকে ওঠার?
In this example, although the mother and daughter are psychologically close to each other, the mother is using the term moharani to create a psychological distance between her and her daughter to show the anger on the laziness of the daughter.
Inference is an additional information used by listener to create a connection between what is said and what must be meant. For example,
where is your Shakespeare?
It is in my bag.
Here, Shakespeare is not referring to the person but the text of Shakespeare. We can and need to imply the meaning that the speaker wants to imply. Otherwise, this kind of misunderstanding can happen, like in the example.
দেখো ভাইটা বুঝোস কিনা, তাই না আমাকে একটু বুঝাই দে তো। দেখি তো কোনটা। ও দোস, এটা তো আমিও পাই না। আচ্ছা তিথির কাছে আমরা বুঝাই। এই তিথি, এটা একটু বুঝাই দে না, তুই তো ভালো বুঝছস। দেখি তো কোনটা।
দোস, তোর একটু দাঁড়া, আমি আসতেছি। হ্যাঁ
দোস, দেখ তো হাতিটা কই গেল, পড়াটা না বুঝায় কোথায় ভাগলো।
So similar thing happened here. Hati is referred to a person who is probably obvious of overweight. We need to end in a conclusion based on evidence and reasoning.
To conclude, semantics and pragmatics plays a very important role in understanding the dimensions of meaning of conversation, going beyond what is encoded in the language form. So this is the skill which will ultimately align us with the notions of quality education, such as the social, emotional, mental, and cognitive development of each student. So that's all from our part. Thank you all very much for bearing with us.